Hello and welcome to Rachel Ray Crochet. Today we are going to be learning the magic circle technique and how we can use this to make our granny triangles. So first off, wrap your yarn around your two fingers so that it forms an X like this. And then you're going to take your hook under this first yarn and pull this second one underneath it like that. Then simply twist your hook around. And now, very important, you want to hold this part of your knot. And I trade hands, but always hold that secure. Go ahead and chain 3. And then this is your magic circle. We are going to be working our stitches into this loop. So work 2 double crochets into this loop, chain 3, and then work 3 double crochets into the loop as well. This is our first row of the granny triangle that we are creating. And then the fun part of your magic circle, you pull your end tight to close up that circle. And here is our first triangle, and we will keep building each row on top of this and increasing as we go. So next you'll chain 3 and turn your work. Now you're going to do 2 double crochets into that same stitch as your chain. Later in this video I will show you a close-up of which stitches to exactly work into. And then chain 1, and in the next chain space you'll do another 3 double crochets. And this is your center, so you'll chain 3 so that you can turn, and then 3 more double crochets into that same chain space at the very top, and then chain 1. And now you'll work in the very last stitch of this round, should be the top of the chain 3 from your previous row. And you want 3 double crochets in that stitch as well. So there is our second row of our triangle. And we've added 2 more clusters of double crochets. And on this next row, I'm going to show you how to break down this pattern. So it's along the sides, you will always repeat 3 double crochets, chain 1. Then you go back to the 3 double crochets, going into each of the large chain spaces. And then in the top chain space, you will always do 3 double crochets, 3 chains, and 3 double crochets all into that one chain space. That creates our nice corner, the top of our triangle. And then we go back to the pattern for along the long side of our row, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So here is our project after 3 rows. You can see that pattern starting to form and the triangle that it is creating. And now I will give you a close-up of each of those corners. So at the start of your row, you will chain 3, and then you want to work into that same stitch as your chain. So that is this stitch right here. will work 2 double crochets in that same stitch right there. So that was 1. Here's 2. And there's your cluster, including your chain. And you can continue alongside of the row as normal. And then when you get to the top, I'll show you this a little closer as well. So you will do your 3 double crochets into that top stitch, and it is helpful if you can scoot those 3 double crochets over to your right. You'll be able to see where you're supposed to go next a little easier. Then you did your 3 chains and back to your 3 double crochets again. And then as we come to the end of our row, we want to go into the very last stitch. So you can either count that from the top, 1, 2, 3, right there, or you can count it from your chain of the previous row, which is right here. And let me slow that down for you right here. And I'll point it out when you go back in for 2, right there. And you can pull on your stitches a little bit to help that show up a little easier. And there's your 3 for the end of the row.